record this. Welcome to the call, everybody. Today we're going to talk about, wait, I shouldn't do two things at the same time. There you go. The power of praxis, aligning you with you so we all win. So Dan's question, let's start with that. He was asking in a voice drop, what is Abraham's step 3? So, Dan, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, good morning. Do you have a voice already? Is this enough for me to answer, or do you want to post a long question, or is your question really just what's Abraham's step 3?
That's good. I wanted to know your personal experience with step 3 as you've come to understand it more through the years. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Abraham talks about the 3 steps. Number 1 is ask. Number 2, it is immediately, instantaneously given the moment you ask. And you don't even have to ask consciously, because as you're living life, when somebody is not nice to you, you unconsciously, subconsciously know that you want that person to be nice to you. So you're already asking. No matter what you're going through, you're already asking, even if you don't consciously know it. And that's why even babies, even though they cannot talk, they are still asking, and they are always receiving. Now, babies are really good at allowing, so they easily get that. Step 3. So step 1 is your thing to do. Step 2 is the universe's thing to do. And step 3, which is to align and to allow whatever it is, step 1 that you asked for, is your thing to do as well. Because we've got free will, and the free will contains whether we accept what we've asked for, because the universe always delivers. It's just a matter of, are we allowing it or not? So how do we allow the things that we've asked for? And a lot of the things, the answer to that will be the call today. I mean, a lot of those things that we'll be discussing today is about allowing. But doing TIR is, well, most of it is about allowing. It's about aligning. So my experience with these 3 steps is that, so I've been an Aber for a long time, but I was living a really, 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 really good life, definitely, but I wasn't creating purposefully. I was still saying, like, where's my stuff? I could go general, but I didn't get too specific because I didn't know how. So the combination, when TIR came in, I was like, oh my God. So this has helped me to play the game in a much bigger level, because I really get to choose with the specifics what I want consciously. I mean, we always choose specifically through living of life, because it's either when we're in the state of step 1, which is asking, because we're in a terrible situation right now, so we're asking. That's why that's serving us as well, because when we're asking, something is given to us that we haven't had before. But then we have to allow it, which is step 3, to receive the new into our lives, which so we're either in step 1 or in step 3. Now, some people, they think that step 2 is theirs to do. They try to get things. They do not understand the concept that law of attraction. You are supposed to create in your mind and then feel the feeling of having received it, which is the law of vibration. You're putting it out. And then the law of attraction is supposed to bring it to you. You're not supposed to run after it. So the allowing can sometimes be just meditating, depending on where you are right now with your vibration. But if you're in a really, really good place, step 3 could be, imagining the good and then feeling good about the imagination. Okay, Dan, do you want any follow-up question on that?
Nope, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so Roberto has a question. He goes, hi, Hildy. I have a question for tomorrow. As you know, I am running my Beamer business. It did happen a few times now that people like the Beamer and or also the business, but they do not want to join because of my upline. He does not have a good name, and many people don't want to be connected with him. How would you deal with this? I can do my very best, but I cannot change. He is above me, and either I can, and you cannot change its behavior either. So your question was, how would you deal with this? So the thing is, it's funny because I actually have a story of my life
Okay.
where I had this situation. So this is not my advice to you, okay? This is just my
No.
story. I didn't do TIR. I wasn't doing TIR when this happened to me. So this is not what I'm advising you. This is just my story. So I did join a network marketing company before, and I had an upline. She was lovely, but her partner was just the worst nightmare I could have ever had. I don't want to, elaborate, but so I had like 10 people who bought tickets for almost 200 euros to go onto a weekend seminar. And then my upline said, let's have a Skype call all together. And he was so horrible that none of the people, even though they already bought their tickets, came to the weekend seminar. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell did I get into, right? But I was so fascinated by the idea that I could have time, money, freedom, that I kept on going to the weekend seminars. But I didn't want to introduce people to the company. I mean, because of my upline. Seriously. Yeah, I had that too. So I was trying to be faithful for like, I don't know, 2 years, whatever. And I said, I'm just going to give this up because, I cannot work with them. And so when I let that go, I thought I was never going to do it again, but it kept on coming back. It was coming in my head that what you really want to do is network marketing. I really wanted to do it. It just wouldn't leave me. So yeah, but anyway, to cut a long story short, I've got a team that I love now. Because as I was talking to Dan about his question, when you ask, it is given. And the proportion of the strongness of my asking was so strong. So it was in proportion to my receiving, which is, wow. I mean, I went through all that emotion that I didn't want to go through. And the other side of that is just majorly beautiful. So I allowed it to happen, and now I've got it. So okay, so that's just my story. Okay, now
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But actually, there are several ways how you could deal with this. But the first thing I would ask myself, what is it that I really, 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 really want? Because it's not necessarily that you're working with Beamer. I mean, there are lots of, products out there that are amazing.
Yeah.
And then another thing is, but if you really want to stay there and do the mental work, it would be, you have to use your imagination of people joining you and your upline being a nice person. Now, it's not the easiest thing to do if you're already used to seeing what you've been seeing, but that's what you create your reality 100%, and also the players within your movie, within your story. In lesson 6, it tells you to write your old story and your new story. So you could actually write down and say, oh, and then we had this meeting, it was so wonderful. My upline has changed like magically, and people were drawn to him and me. And you can think whatever you want to think. Physical reality has nothing to do with it, huh?
Or write them out of the script, maybe also an option.
Yeah, you can write the script. Yes, exactly. I mean, if that's what you really want to do. But the first thing I would really, really do, Rob, is to ask myself, what is it that I really, really want? Because sometimes you just think that this business is the vehicle that's going to get you where you want to be, not knowing that there are, so many more vehicles.
Oh yes, I know that, and I continue anyway because I know a lot about the products, and I know how I can help people with it. It's marvelous. But yeah, I was just wondering, and what I think, people come for me. I attracted people into my business, but sometimes it's a little bit shit, to say that people want, and they said, oh, he's above you. Well, forget it, and that's that's not. But
Well,
maybe write a better script indeed.
yeah, well, if that's the way you want to deal with it, you can do it, because you create your own reality 100%,
Yeah,
and the
yeah, that's
brain is
true.
in it. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true.
Great.
Good answer. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, so I placed Mary's question and Joanne's question in one because it's kind of related to each other. So Mary asked about the Think and Grow Rich, the list of 16 symptoms of lack of persistence. So on symptom 15, it says, searching for all shortcut to riches, trying to get without giving a fair equivalent, usually reflected in the habit of gambling, endeavoring to drive sharp bargains. So she's wanting to know what that means. She wants me to elaborate on that. And then Joanne messaged saying, in the persistence chapters, the symptoms of lack of persistence, number 6, the affliction of self-satisfaction. Not sure why this is an affliction. Surely to be self-satisfied is essential for the pursuit of happiness. So I've got the book here, and number 6 says, self-satisfaction, there is but little remedy for this affliction and no hope for those who suffer from it. Okay, so symptom number 15, searching for all shortcuts to riches. So Mary, the most important part that you need to understand, well, first of all, always think in frequencies and energy. Okay, and whatever you put out is what you get back. You cannot, like, even, let's just say somebody's at the office and stole paper, right? Even though no physical being has seen it, the universe sees it. So if that person feels that I need to get that paper from the company because I cannot afford it myself, what that person is vibrating is still, I cannot afford it. So whatever it is that you put out, and what he's talking here is with the gambling, for example, people are trying to get money without giving anything in return, and that cannot happen. It's a law that it cannot happen. So there always has to be a fair exchange of energy. So I was thinking of an example of what I could give you here. And I thought to myself, why not use an example in my life? And so I love that you asked this question because it made me think about my life. So for example, with the coaching, right? What I'm giving off is value to others, and that's how we receive the payment. So if I stopped doing these calls with you guys, nobody would pay me, right? Because there's no exchange of value. You would think she's crazy if I wanted money from you without giving anything back of value to you. Now, I was thinking even deeper and further. So what is that value that I'm giving? So the value that I'm giving, because we can create a reality any way we want, and then we will attract those people who are ready for that reality, right? So I said that what I want is time, money, freedom. So I could be doing one-on-ones, but I don't want to do one-on-ones. That's not what I want to do. I want to be free. So what I said, what I want to give off are these calls where everybody who gets onto it benefits from it and hears what they need to hear when they need to hear it. So it's not, the value that I'm giving is not the time in the sense of one-to-one, but the value that I'm giving is the energy value. And I prepave that people will hear what they need to hear. I mean, I asked Biani once, not just recently actually, I said, you've been with me from the very beginning. You're always on these calls. Why are you on these calls? Well, obviously it's about repetition, but that's what Adam said, because I asked Adam the same question. I asked the both of them because they've been with me from the very beginning. And Biani said, well, Tuesdays is a reset for me for the week. So what I'm giving is the frequency. And I remember a story with Abraham where this guy said, I'm taking care of this old lady in a home for the aged. and she wants to make me give me the inheritance, and the son of the lady is mad about that. And then he was saying, I didn't do anything. Like, why should I receive it? And Abraham said, well, because you cared for her, because you loved her, because you were there for her. So that was the exchange, and the lady wanted to give the money. So it is just, always think in frequencies. So you cannot take without giving something in return of value. In relationships, for example, if one person in that relationship is giving so much and sacrificing, well, we all know we shouldn't sacrifice, but that relationship will break apart because the exchange is not it's not equal. Okay. Mary, is that clear enough? Is that enough, or is there a follow-up question?
No. Sorry. No, that's fine. That's perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's just one more. If for example, if you was doing an investment, because obviously I do persistence chapter with Joanne, so we're asking her this morning. So if you buy into, say like you, someone says, "Oh, come into this, pay £100 to buy into these shares," is that cheating riches, or is that investing in an investment? Does that make sense?
I don't think I got that. Okay. So you're buying something from £100 for £100? What?
Yeah. So if you go into something, how can I explain it to you a better way? You don't understand Bitcoin, I don't either. So basically, someone's approached me and said, okay, there's this deal that's going. So to get into this deal, you have to pay £100. Okay, and then over the months you watch your money accumulate, so it goes up and down. So it's a bit like shares. Now, is that cheating at riches, or is that an investment? Does that make sense?
Sounds like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I was feeling the same thing. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's because the difference. For example, with Nu Skin, you've got products that you're consuming.
Yeah.
So, people buy a product. I mean, if you buy shoes out there, you pay money as well, right? But this here, what you're buying it's invisible. To me, it feels like a pyramid. I feel into it. Feel it.
It's gut feeling. Gut feeling tells me no, but I wanted to. And then because in this, I got sent a load of stuff to look at, and I am very switched on when it comes. I just don't throw my money anywhere. And when I looked into it, my gut feeling was saying this is a bit weird. And during the conversation, someone said that they wanted to get rich and the money weren't coming their way. Well, then obviously they don't know what I'm doing. So then that entered into my head. Well, you're cheating. In my eyes, you're cheating at getting rich, because that isn't the right way to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? If this is the only thing you hear from the whole call and use it for the rest of your life, I promise you'll have the best life ever. Okay, your gut is always right. Don't don't whatever. Just leave it. Your gut is always right. Move on.
Yeah, I thought it was. But my brain wants to just do that little bit more research, because obviously it's open for more stuff, for more knowledge to come into. And I just wanted to know why. Why was I feeling, and am I going down the right path? But yes, that does make sense.
Okay, great. Because you know what? When you have this gut feeling, but you can practice it. You know what? So this is, I would recommend you do from now on. When your gut tells you something, go for it, then go for it. And you can also, if your gut says, don't go for it, and you still decide to go for it, just watch the result of it.
Okay.
Yeah, just practice listening to your gut and watch what happens.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the more you
Hildy,
practice, yeah.
So just to, well, I mean, you probably need to finish your sentence there, but I just
Hi,
wanted to
guys.
ask, hey, Mary, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Go on.
Good. Well, so I guess it was a really interesting point, though, because if you do invest into Bitcoin or if you do invest into shares, it's sort of a similar thing, isn't it? Like, but I guess you don't, well, I mean, you've done the research anyway, Mary, but if we talk about energy here and you just invest into something like that can go up in value, what is the energy there?
You know what? Yark is coming. He knows about stocks. I don't know anything about stocks. I'll talk to him about stocks and I'll feel into it. Okay?
Okay.
Because I really don't
Cool.
know anything about, I don't know anything about stocks. I can't tell you. There's nothing to feel into for me.
We can ask Carl as well.
Okay, I'll ask Carl.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Mary, I have done something like that many years ago because I've always. Pardon?
Sorry, go on, I'm listening.
Good morning, Mary. I always wanted to increase my money and things like that. So I've done something what you have just mentioned. And for me, it did not work. It did not work. And I've invested more than £100. And that was many years ago. And because I trusted the guy and it just didn't work. So it was a pyramid. But so that was just my experience. But as Hildy said, that is always right. I just wanted to share my experience.
Thank you, Gabriella.
Okay. That was many years ago, though. I've
Thank
learned
you.
so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For the persistence. Okay, all right. Oh my God, I'm looking at the watch and think, oh my God, it's been 22 minutes and I prepared such amazing stuff for you guys. So, okay, we got to move on. It's so much fun to talk to you guys. Okay, so her question, Joanne's question number 6, like self-satisfaction, there's but little remedy for this affliction and no hope for those who suffer from it. So she says you're not sure why this is an affliction. Truly, to be self-satisfied is essential for the pursuit of happiness. Yes, so Abraham jokingly always says that we teach selfishness, right? But that's a different kind of selfishness than Napoleon Hill is talking about here. Because what Abraham is saying, do anything that you can to align yourself. Be selfish enough that you care about the way you feel more than anything else. So if you have like a friend who says, you don't talk to me anymore, but that friend is actually always dragging you down, pulling you down, then be selfish about your alignment because that's your business. Your only business is your alignment, right? But what Napoleon Hill is talking about here as self-satisfaction is, having gain for oneself and not having the equal amount of gain for the other, right? So, I'm sure that it's understood. I mean, I could give so many examples. Like the other way around. So we've been talking a lot to my parents, Guy and I, and we've got employees who have been with us for like more than 20 years, and not just one of them. They are so loyal, and so we've been picking the brains of my parents, and when we're just like, no wonder they're so loyal, because my parents just give them so much. Like they even small things. So they have a 13th month pay. They even have a 14th month pay, and then they go to one of the best beaches in the world, which is in the Philippines. They fly there for their company outing, and then my parents, like, they give them groceries before Christmas and all these things. So my parents always go beyond. And that's why the employees are so loyal to them. So everything is always an exchange of energy. All right. Oh, Angelique's question. So what does Bob say about waking up early? Would he refer to different brainwaves making us more open to reprogram our subconscious mind? Or does he just believe from other successful people starting early is more productive? I have been waking up around 6 a.m. each day now and found that state of early awake, drowsy mind is better to take information in when I want to reprogram myself. Later in the day, I feel I'm already a lot in the conscious mind. Okay, so Bob never talked about it, Angelique, so I don't know if he, you know, what he thinks about brain waves, but I could ask him, and I'll let you know. Reprogram. Okay, so what Abraham talks about, actually, so Kevin talks about the really successful people. They have their meetings when everybody is sleeping, because then the vibration is a lot more calmer and neutral. When everybody's awake, there are all sorts of vibration going on, right? And it's easy to get influenced, especially, well, if you're not thinking. Somebody goes into the room, you feel their mood, and automatically, for most people, they just take over that mood. I'm sure you've seen that before, negative or positive. Somebody could come into a room and light up the whole room, and somebody could come into the room and like, oh my God, why does it feel so right? So so also the thing is, early in the morning when you wake up, if you study first before going onto your phone or whatever, Abraham talks about how, especially if you think of positive thoughts before you sleep, and then you get into the vortex, you connect with source when you're sleeping, and then most people, they think about the problem of yesterday the moment they open their eyes. Even before they open their eyes, they're already awake and haven't opened their eyes, they're already thinking about, oh my God, the problem of last night or whatever. But sleeping is always a reset button. So if you find that later in the day you feel you're more in your conscious mind and you want that reset, just take a short nap, because that will always do it. And I mean, how often have I said in my life, oh my gosh, I don't feel good at all, like anything I do right now is counterproductive and not productive at all, I'm going to take a nap, bye. And then I just reset, and then when I wake up, I feel refreshed. Ooh, great. It's like a new day. So you can do that anytime. Okay, so I'll continue on. Angelique, I hope, can you speak for a while? I'll check the chat box as well. Was that okay?
Yeah, no, thank you, because I know that the other teachers I work with, Dr. Joe, he definitely talks about other brain waves going on, like the DMTR brain waves that happen between, I think, really early in the morning, and that's why he wants us to wake up really early. And because your conscious mind is just not awake yet, it's almost like your conscious mind is like asleep during those early hours. And when I find that I'm studying material or I'm discussing the laws or whatever, or I'm listening to Abraham, it goes in a very different way, and especially when I do it with repetition. So yeah.
Well, what I find, like very early in the morning, 3 in the morning when I wake up, all these ideas come to me of what to do, and I get. But actually, I was trained that way, to ask before I sleep the questions, and then just download the answers at 3 in the morning or something like that. So that's what I do when I'm half awake. I just put it into my phone, and then the next day I know that I would have never thought about it when I woke up the next day. It's just so off the vibration. It's different. It feels different. I haven't studied it, but I know that it exists, that some people talk about that, but I don't know much about that. But I haven't heard Bob talk about that either. So
thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. I just wanted to go back to gratitude because this is so, so, so important. This is what connects us to power, as the Science of Getting Rich says, right? So I wanted to, from now on, with every call, that we have this gratitude page, and everybody will write into the chat box one thing that they're grateful for, so that during the call, we're connected to power, okay? So I just put some photos here. So when struggle ends, the struggle ends when gratitude begins. the whole process of mental adjustment and attunement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. So this is from the gratitude chapter of The Science of Getting Rich. Most of you have studied it. I just wanted to remind you of it. Our gratitude liberates an energy within us that immediately expands into the formless substance, where it is instantly returned to us in kind. So whatever we put out, we get back. The grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best, therefore it tends to become the best. It takes the form or character from the best and will receive the best. So if you want to be and have and do and everything with the best of the best, you got to be grateful and study this particular thing and get it into the subconscious mind. So the daily practice of gratitude is one of the conduit by which your wealth will come to you. So gratitude is so important for wealth to come. And you can really hear this and read it in the book, The Power of Rhonda Byrne. Byrne? I don't know how you pronounce her name. Anyway, the girl from The Secret, the author. So what are you grateful for? So let's check the chat box. Let's see. So Carmen says, I'm grateful for my high energy that kicks me out of bed in the middle of the night and nursing my ideas in the minute of its birth. Ooh, you've been reading the persistence chapter. I am feeling so alive and on fire. Rob says, I'm grateful for the good friends I found in TIR. Oh, awesome. Oh, me too. Let's do the Zoom call during the night next time. Well, it's night for me almost. Okay, Gabrielle is grateful for Angelique because she is so amazing in giving and sharing. Wow. Thank you. Yes, she is absolutely amazing. I totally agree. But so are you, Gabriella. Mary says, I am so happy and grateful for my beautiful life as it is so amazing and fun. Wow, I love it. Okay, so Guy says, I'm grateful for being in Manila and being around the Icing family. Yay! Okay, sweetheart, just so you know, Icing is double S. Anyway, it's not my name anymore, so it doesn't matter. Angelique, I am grateful for great teachers, authors, and mentors and mastermind buddies who become my partners in applying truth in my life. Create from knowledge and understanding that is many of you here. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. I feel so much better already. Daniel says, I'm thankful for hope amidst the contrast. That's great. You know what, Daniel? Contrast is something that you've created yourself to become more clear about what it is you really, really want. Because a lot of the times we're in such a limbo state that we, it's like we're not moving. So you create the contrast to become clearer, and then you just focus on that. And, actually, so Kevin actually teaches that the energy of anger and rage, like, I don't know if I've told you this before, in the call, but I just remembered it because of his comment. You can transmute that energy. In fact, like having that energy, that energy of being so mad and, rage, if you know about how to create, you use that powerful energy to focus on the opposite of what you were mad about, or to focus it on something that you really want, because it becomes clear what you really want, and then it comes even faster. So you have to understand that contrast is nothing bad. It's like when you're driving a car and it tells you that you're running out of fuel. You do not put a happy sticker on the thing that tells you you're almost running out, right? Abraham talks about that. You just fill it up, and then it's running again. And you would rather know that it's getting empty so that you can fill it up, instead of pretending that, putting a smiley face on it, and then you're stuck there because you have no fuel, right? So contrast is something you've created to become more clear about what you want, and then focus on it, and you get to the other side where, get everything that you want. Okay, so Katya says, I'm grateful for being in this group. Awesome. And Gabriella, Angelique loves you. Okay, fantastic. So let me just check the time. 35. Okay, good. The only thing that stands between you and all the good that life can offer is a sound belief system that is in harmony with the laws of the universe. Combine that with effective use and application of praxis, and you've got a winning combination. So when I read something like that, like you've got a winning combination, I'm like, oh my God, with a winning combination, wait, let me go back. So what is it about? What is the winning combination? And then I go back to study what the winning combination is, what the formula is. So again, the only thing that stands between you and all the good that life can offer is a sound belief system that is in harmony with the laws of the universe. So I thought, let's talk more about that today. Praxis is the integration of belief with behavior. Again, I'll explain more about that today. So praxis has the potential to cause exciting and marvelous things to happen in many areas of your life with constant regularity. So it's not just about now or about tomorrow, constant regularity till the end of your days. So exciting and marvelous things for the rest of your life. I mean, for your stay here. Like, wow, okay, when I read something like that, it makes me want to study what praxis really means. So let your faith be bigger than your fear. But how do we do that? So Sandy says, a new belief based on understanding, not faith based on nothing. It's actually belief and faith based on understanding, which we gain through study, that is gained through serious study, has the power to change your inner state and your outer world. Because everything that's going on outside of us is a reflection of what's going on inside. You've heard that before, for sure, but with the things that I've put together today, I'm pretty sure it will become more clear to you what that means. So one of the key points is, on a conscious level and on a logical level, you can think it true, and we can say, yeah, I can do that. However, one must believe at a deep level, from deep in the psyche, that it is true. If we do not, then we must change that part of the paradigm. Okay, so you've heard many people talk before about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, like I'm going to leave him, or I'm going to travel the world, or whatever it is, right? Or I'm going to get this, I'm going to go to this pin title, for example, right? But they only think it. They don't have it deep in their psyche. So it's only here in the conscious mind. And in the subconscious mind, something completely different is going on, and they're not aware of it. So there are only two ways to integrate your belief with behavior, which is praxis, right? So it's a constant spaced repetition of the same thing over and over and again, but it has to be thoughts and beliefs that are aligned with universal laws, as we heard at the beginning of this call, right? So, or an emotional impact. This picture suggests that we need to get that belief from up here, the conscious mind, to the subconscious mind. Again, the conscious mind, the language of the conscious mind is thought, and the language of the subconscious mind is feeling. So we actually have to be able to feel the feeling of things already as if they were manifested. Okay? So feeling is the key. So some people say, I believe I can do better, especially when they come out of like a seminar, a weekend seminar, like, yeah, I'm going to go for it, I'm on top of the world. But then does your behavior reflect that belief? Do you really believe that you can do it? I mean, people say, yeah, I believe it, but they don't do the necessary behavior that reflect that belief. So if they don't do the behavior, it means they don't really believe at all. So if the behavior does not reflect the belief that you say that you've got about having a better world or doing better, then you've got to change that part of the paradigm. There is no other way. So another key point is, the truth is you can do anything, but you've got to believe it. Without belief, it is not going to happen. And again, a belief on the subconscious, not the conscious. So there's a difference between wishing for something and being ready to receive it. No one's ready for a thing until they believe that they can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief and not mere hope or wish. Now, if you're in tune with who you are and with your thoughts, if you actually spend a lot of time thinking about who you are and what you're thinking right now, what you're feeling right now, if you are aware about what's going on within you, and you're also aware what's going on without, like, so outside of you, then you will definitely begin to, if not already doing so, to understand the meaning of there is a difference in the feeling of just hoping or wishing for something, or just knowing that, you know, it is so, that you're going to get there, or it already is. Actually, it already is. The more you understand you, the more you'll believe in you. So again, how do we understand us more so that we can believe in us more? We need to study the right things. But I'll give you another, at the end of this, I'll give you a list of how we can believe more. So the thoughts that we internalize set up the vibration. Vibration causes the action. Action causes the reaction. It's the action-reaction that creates the result. You've got to believe it can be. So in that sentence, with just 2 sentences, with so few words, it's so packed with information that you really need to think about it. Because you could have 2 sentences saying, she is hungry, that's why she'll be eating. There's not much to think about those 2 sentences, right? You understand it right away. Like, you have a picture in your mind. But when you read these 2 sentences, like, whoa, what was that? Okay, again. The thoughts that we internalize. So what does internalize mean? Internalize is, like, for example, an actor, when he gets a script, he just reads it and acts it out, and he memorizes it, and then he does the movements that belong to it. I mean, when he's in love, then his movement is passionately kissing in the outer, right? And if his script is like he is raging and he's like a bad whatever husband, his movements wouldn't be passionately kissing. It would be something else. I mean, I don't want to put those pictures into our mind, so never mind. You probably already had pictures in your minds from me just saying that. But really, internalizing something is feeling it in every cell of your body. So when you feel that in every cell of your body of it being true, that's when you internalize it, and that is when you set up the vibration that's going out into the universe. And the universe, through the law of attraction, actually brings back to you that is in harmony with that state of being, so that you see it in the manifested world. So by universal law, let's sell by law. Let's create life by law, not by luck, And how do we do it? We've got thoughts that we can choose to think, regardless of what has happened in the past. We can always, for example, Rob, your upline, regardless of what you have observed up to now, you can think the thoughts that you want to think. You can think that he's the best upline ever. And, choose whatever you can choose. And then feel the feeling of it being true. Okay. And that then sets up a vibration that sends out to the universe. And then the law of attraction brings back. So in that case, for example, you're thinking about a successful business. And then you're feeling the feeling of how it is when money just comes in through your successful business, and how people are telling you, oh my God, you changed my life so much. And I'm so grateful that you showed this opportunity to me. I'm so grateful that you were so patient with me. I finally cracked it. And, it's such a wonderful feeling. Just feel into what gains you will have, and others as well. There we go again, Mary. So it's not just our personal gain. That's why the company we're partnered with in network marketing in the right way, if it's done right, if the compensation plan is done rightly, and also if the integrity behind the company is right, because there are companies out there that really set you up for failure, in the sense that they've got so many distributors, and but they have such a small office, knowing that they're just making money off these people, and they would just, announce bankruptcy or whatever. So that's why it's so important, if you're partnered with the right company, that that when you're going out there, you are giving people the opportunity of changing their lives, and because you give them value comes back to you. It is just law. So again, to the action, so you do your action, which is tied to the subconscious mind. So whatever it is you're feeling at the moment, if you feel successful, your actions will be reflecting that of successful people, or, successful actions. And there will be a reaction from the outside, and that then causes your results. So if you want your results to be positive and successful, then you got to feel positive about that result, even though you cannot see it yet with your eyes. And that's by creating by law. So the law of polarity, there is positive and negative in anything and everything, and you get to choose which thoughts you think, which feelings you feel, what actions you do. But we'll be talking about this in lesson 9 more. So clearly understood and properly utilized, the concept of praxis will produce results that will amaze and delight you. So clearly understood and properly utilized. Okay, praxis, which is this lesson, will produce results that will amaze and delight you. So if your results are not to your liking, think about it. Think about your results. Are they to your liking or not? If not, you should examine your beliefs. What do you believe about it, about you, about everybody involved, everything. Check to see if your beliefs are integrated with your behavior. That's the second step. So Bob said that you did not create your beliefs, you inherited them. All you have to do is analyze your beliefs in the light of truth. Okay, so again, you have to understand that you didn't create your beliefs, you inherited them. So somebody already gave them to you. For example, this mouse, it says here, will press lever for food, right? In his reality, he has to press lever for food. But if he were to live outside, which he doesn't know, there's an abundance of things for him to eat. And he doesn't even have to press a lever. But he doesn't know, right? Because he's one of the mice that needs to press a lever to eat. So the beliefs that we've got is inherited. We came into the family that we lived in, and we were made to believe the things that they believed. And it's really fun to be here with Guy and dissecting the thoughts of my parents. It's really, really fun. And I must say, the more I get to know my dad, even now, the more I love him. Like, for example, my mom told a story that she said to him, why don't you buy a Rolex? And my dad said, why? My Seiko does tell me the time as well. What should I do with a Rolex? And, like a watch for 20,000 or a watch for 100. He just has such a wonderful self-image of himself that he doesn't even need a Rolex. I mean, it's just, wow, it's just so much fun. Anyway, I'm drifting off. So all you have to do is analyze your beliefs in the light of truth. So, but this is work. You really have to sit down and analyze your beliefs in the light of truth. So is it true what I'm believing? And also ask yourself, okay, so this is what I'm believing. Do I want to continue to believe this, or do I want to change it? So it's up to you. Okay, this is a big one. Listen to this, okay? If money is your issue, listen to this. So if money is your issue, it's not really the money that's the issue, okay? It's not about the money. It's your belief about the money that's the issue. So, for example, first of all, you need to always remember, and even though you may not remember it in a subconscious level yet, but in a conscious level, remind yourself always that source is your source of supply. It is not that person, it's not your client, whatever, Source is your source of supply. So it is, abundant, like there are no limits. So, for example, if I had 100 pounds and I burnt it, so it'll go to ether. And it's also through the ether, through my thoughts, I can immediately attract it back into my life, the 100 pounds. It's really easy because everything goes to ether and everything comes
Hildy,
from ether. Yeah.
do you want to give the example of what happened to your mum with the money?
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm not 100% sure what you mean, but let me tell the story what I think you mean. So my mom, she's so funny. She just puts money, like when she has money in an envelope, she just puts it somewhere and then sometimes forgets about where she has put it, right? And she's like, oh, where's the money? Where's the money? And then she was looking for it. When was that? Like 2 days ago or something. She put away 3,000 and couldn't find it, but because she was looking for money, she found money that she put away last year that she forgot where it was and found 6. So was that the story that you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's funny. My mom's funny. Anyway, so yeah, you don't know where it's going to come from. Maybe it's money that you that you put away and couldn't remember where it was, and then you find it and it's double the amount, right? Why not? But I want you to really imagine, how do you feel about getting 100 euros or 100 pounds or $100, whatever your currency is? Take that money, really get there, not just in your mind, but really feel the feeling. Like, get your money out of your pocket or whatever, or get it out of the bank first and then hold it. And maybe do this later. Just hold it in your hand and feel the feeling of what would happen. What are you feeling when you put fire and burn the 100? Okay, there's a comment. Let's see if it's about that. Really? You did it. So you burnt money, Rob, yeah? 300 euros. Can you come on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you do it?
Well, a few years ago, I was working in a company, and I had some bad words with the boss, and he was blackmailing me. And yeah, he owed me 300 euros, and we said, yeah, first you have to do this and this and this, which was against the rules, a lot of bullshit. So in the end, he said, well, you have your money anyway. Did take my lighter, and I said, wow, fuck your money, and I burned it.
Wow.
And he was looking, you were a fool. I said, yes, I am sometimes, but I don't want your money.
Wow.
Anymore.
That's awesome, because it frees you. How do you put it? Like, yeah, you just know it's going to come again. Like, you're not the slave of money, right?
No.
Yeah.
It was funny to do. Funny to see his face.
I can imagine. But anyway, so thank you so much for everybody on the call. Just really, because again, let's go back to this. If money is your issue right now, it's not really the money that's the issue. It's your belief about the money that's the issue. So allow it to flow. Allow it to circulate. Don't be a slave. Don't hold on to it. Give it away, because if you give it away with all your heart, more comes to you. So, okay. Let's examine some of the common beliefs. Let me just, oh my gosh, the time. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to go a little bit over the time. So if you need to go, just feel free to go, okay? Okay, let's examine some of the common beliefs, okay? And I'll do this really quick. I was going to talk about each and every one, but I'm just going to go really quick. So you could be, whatever it is you're thinking in your conscious mind, that's not what really counts. What counts is what's in the subconscious, which of course we can change using our conscious mind through repetition. But let's just talk about the subconscious here, okay? So our beliefs in the subconscious. I can't be my true self or I'll be judged. I'm not good enough. A lot of people think this. If I allow myself to fall deeply in love, I'll get hurt again, for example. I can't ask for what I want. I might get rejected. I'm destined to work hard for nothing. A lot of people think that. I can't trust people. They always betray me. Well, it's not really about the people. They're a reflection of yourself, right? So I can't pursue my dreams. What if I fail? I don't need to be successful, so I don't need to strive for success. It's too late to pursue my dreams. Okay, so actually I was going to counter that and put them positive. So if you guys want to hear the positive of that, we can do it next week, okay? So for example, in network marketing, like in the conscious mind, you can ask like, why aren't they joining me? So in the subconscious, you may be thinking, I don't believe in me. I wouldn't join me. You know, it's like, so you really got to dig deep. Like what's going on in the outside world is telling you something about what you believe in the subconscious mind. So that then sets up the vibration that you're sending out, this part, right? And then that's what comes back. So the first relationship is about you with yourself. So if you don't understand yourself and you're not in touch with your beliefs, then you're going to be confused about any relationship that you have attracted or will attract in your life. So you just really got to get to know yourself and understand yourself and get in touch with your beliefs. So if I told you you can be Blue Diamond by March 2018, there are just two things that you could think in your conscious mind. It's either I can't do that. Well, then you're screwed already, right? Whoever person thinks that I can't do it, well, why bother, right? And the subconscious goes, doesn't make sense, not logical. I've never done it before. It's not me, whatever. But the other thing that you could think is, so if I told you can be Blue Diamond by March 2018, which is like in 3 months, more or less, and in a conscious mind think, yes, I can do that. Like, because I'm doing to a TIR, right? I can do that. But what counts is the subconscious mind, and the subconscious is going, how? Like, where do I start? Like, wait a minute, because the more you think about it, the more the subconscious is like, I'm not programmed to do that. Because the paradigm, which is in the subconscious mind, rejects the idea that you've put here, that you can do it. It just rejects it, and it won't stop rejecting it until you give up. That's why you have to be stronger by doing the repetition. Again, listen to this, okay? The paradigm rejects the new idea, and it will not give up. It will just keep on doing it until you give up. So the only thing that you can do to counter the counterpart of that is to make a decision that you are going to do the repetition, because it is repetition that will change the subconscious programming. Your paradigm will tell you, oh my God, I don't want to do it. I'm still whatever excuse it'll find, right? So that's what a paradigm is designed to do. It wants to throw out all the new ideas because it's not in harmony with it. It keeps you where you are. So it's about discipline. It's about the burning desire and discipline. So this is something new that well, it's not a new idea, but the combination of ideas, something that came into my mind. I got really excited about really thinking about this and studying this. So Kevin is talking about the four basics that the richest of the rich, like really millionaires. I'm just thinking about, and most of you, if not all of you, know about Kevin. So if you don't know about Kevin, let me know. I will send you the recordings, okay? Anyway, so he says that there are 4 basics that the millionaires know, okay? And they just know it in such depth that they apply it in their lives, and that's why they have what they have, okay? So the 4 steps to unconscious competence is one of it. So the first one is the unconscious incompetence. That means you don't know what you don't know. For example, a child that is newly born does not know about the fact that you can't tie shoelaces, right? So you don't know that you don't know. This is how it looks like. Negative in the conscious, negative in the subconscious, negative in the body. He doesn't know in any area. And then conscious incompetence. You know what you don't know. The child grows up a little bit and sees daddy tie the shoelace, right? So you know what you don't know. You know that there's such a thing as tying a shoelace, but you don't know how it goes. So you cannot tie the shoelace. It's a negative in the subconscious, in the body. And then the conscious competence, you know what you know, but you have to consciously apply it. So the child goes like, Daddy, you gotta teach me. And then Daddy's teaching, Daddy's teaching Eliza to tie the shoelace. So on a conscious mind, she's already knowing it, but she's still practicing it. So she's not really good at it yet, but she is consciously trying to put this one side, the other side, and how to tie it, but she doesn't really know it yet. So the result is not the way she wants it to be yet. It's a plus minus. So the constant spaced repetition from the conscious to the subconscious, the practicing, gets it into the subconscious mind, which then becomes the unconscious competence. Oh, wait, thank you. Thank you. They're calling me to eat. Okay, so the unconscious competence, and it happens automatically. Okay, so you've practiced it so much that it's in your subconscious mind. So Eliza, maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7, and she knows it in the conscious mind. She can explain it to others. She knows it in the subconscious mind. She can be talking to her daddy while she's doing it without looking at it, and her body knows how to do it, right? So I found that so cool. And then when you get to unconscious competence, you're manifesting your desires at record speed. So yay, that's fun. And now I have a question. What does this remind you of? Anybody who wants to answer?
Persistence.
Huh?
Persistence.
No, not quite. Okay, so I'll tell you, okay? It's the terror barrier.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, but thank you, Rob. So it's a terror barrier. And I was like, wow. So I was like really studying this and comparing both, right? The 4 steps to unconscious competence and the terror barrier. And then I came to the conclusion, so I was thinking about the terror barrier a lot. And some terror barriers are as thin as this shower curtain. And some terror barriers are as thick as this wall of the, I don't know, medieval times or whatever. So, wow, like it really made me think about the terror barrier. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys because to me it was just, that was my aha moment, that we can actually, through the repetition, through knowing who we are and through working with the laws, etc., we can make all the walls that we've got, that invisible wall of the terror barrier, super, super thin, that we don't even have these kinds of walls anymore. And I find that the way we do it is to, the constant space repetition. We could repeat and repeat and repeat, like, I'm making whatever, 500,000 a month or whatever. But if you choose things that are universal, right, that you make it an unconscious competence, that the how is irrelevant. That step 2, the one that Dan was talking about, Abraham, step 2 is for the universe to do. It's not my job to do. And you just let go of the how. So if that's something, the letting go of the how, that it's the universe's thing to do, if that's what you get into your subconscious mind, no matter what happens, no matter what you ask for, you just know that you're going to get it because you've put in your subconscious mind that that's the universe's thing to do. So what will it cost me if I don't let go of my limiting beliefs now? Let me check the time. I do have a lot more slides, so we won't be able to cover it. We will just do it next week. How about that? So that I don't rush through it, so that you have more of it.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, okay. Because you have to dinner.
Yeah, well, no, that's not that's no problem. It's just that you know, I respect your time, guys. So I know, you know, some you guys are working, so let's just do it next week then. But I want you to think about this. What will it cost me if I don't let go of limiting beliefs now? Okay, so yeah, I'll leave you with that then, guys. Okay, catch you next week.
Okay.
I love you, Hildy.
Catch you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Enjoy lunch. Bye.
Dinner.
Dinner, sorry.
Yum, 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 yum.
Pressure.
Lucky you.